Okay. Okay, I don't know if I like this format here. It's been a long time since I did a live. And I'm not showing it on my tablet. Um, I don't know why I'm signed out. Yeah, poo. Okay. All right. So here I am. I'm live. I was hoping I'd get on my tablet the chat, but I guess I have to be signed in order to be chat. But that's okay. So we'll be on uh, as long as you want me to be. I don't really get a lot of big response on live. Very rarely. Do I get a response on live? It's usually after the live show that I'll get a lot of watches. But while I'm live, there is usually uh, hardly any viewers at all. Might get one, might get two, but that's about it. So let's sit back with a cup of coffee and talk about some things. Well, let's discuss what's been going on with me. Well, back in October, I got promoted to supervisor for the company I work for. We have about 1,700 locations across the United States. And so I got promoted and began to start working toward fixing the area that I was going to be supervising. We were having a little bit of problems as far as people getting things done, and that's the truth with anything. You know, if you're not going to, if you're you got to be able to encourage people to do the right thing at the right time all the time, and not just when someone's there or someone's not there. So I forgot to turn off my notifications. So they put me in that position, and with my ideas that when I was interviewed that I presented, they hired me for, and I was getting good response. I had guys staying on task. They were, with the exception of one who couldn't put his cell phone down. But I had guys you know, they were actually getting the work done. In fact, I was really pleased with them today. It was my day off. And so I went in just to check to see, because I had a couple of tasks that I had asked them to have done before they left. And I walked in and I was pleased. I was pleased. They got it done. And, you know, because all it takes is just one to get the idea, you know, about getting this stuff done, because it's not about me. You know, don't do it for me. Don't even do it for the general manager. You do it for the company. And you have to look beyond yourself. And, excuse me. So, you know, once you can look beyond yourself, you know, about how you feel about it or whatever, you know, things can get done, you know, because really, any company in the world, they really don't care how you feel. They don't care how you feel about a tasking. They don't care how you feel about anything. They just want you to get the work done. And that's all you have to do. Just get the work done. And so I was really pleased. These guys they're starting to understand that. And so, and I said before in another video, a couple of videos back, at the end of November, they told it, and I was just finishing up my second month as a supervisor. They told us that we would be changing company-wide all the way across the leadership structure of each branch. And that there will be, according to the leadership structure, there will be 3 less supervisors in order to, you know, per branch, and because the supervisors were going to be doubled up. I was already running 3 departments, areas, and having to deal with everybody in those departments. And so we all had to reapply for the position that, you know, according to your time as a supervisor. Now, again, I'd only been a supervisor for a couple of months. One, I think, had been there for 5 months. Another had been there for 9 months. And then the other ones had all been supervisors for multiple years. So with that in mind, under the new structure, leadership structure, they were going to have to drop 3 supervisors. And at least for our store, you know, our store. So I figured right away I was the last hired, therefore I will be the first to have to step down. Now, two of the other supervisors were not qualified to continue, and that was because of disciplinary action. And they have to wait until that pans out, because the disciplinary actions are for 6 months. So 2 of them were not qualified, but that still left me as the last one that was promoted into this position. And we had one of our longtime supervisors, who'd been a supervisor seemed like forever, got promoted this last week to assistant manager at another location. So she has to go there. She's going to be going there. And I was thinking, well, okay, that would alleviate that one less position. Maybe I can squeak in after all. Well, it turns out I got my call today that I will be going to be stepping down from my supervisory position, going back to the position I had before, and which is fine, because being the last hired gives me first opportunity when when another position opens up, whether it's at my location or any other location. So that's a positive. The other positive is that they did recognize that my ideas were working. These guys were responding, and it kind of really wasn't fair that I'd only been there a couple of months. They understood that. It only, you're not going to come in and make a big splash immediately. You make the big splash a little bit later. So I stepped down. I stepped down on January 17th. And so until then, I'm still supervisor. And until then, I will be a supervisor as the best as I can be. But what I go back to is a set schedule, which will be Monday through Friday. Central Standard Time, United States of America. So I'll go back to that. And the raise that I was given for becoming a supervisor, I get to keep. They're not going to take away the raise that they gave to me. I got a second like. Somebody actually had watched and liked and then went away. Come on, chat with me, ask me questions, anything you want to ask. I'm only going to be on here as long as you guys are talking to me. But I also know that my live streams don't always garner a lot of watches while I'm live streaming. It's always afterwards. So let's put that in mind. I can still get a lot of that. So on the 17th, I stepped down, and we'll go back to overnight, doing something I had done for 12 years. So nothing's really going to change for me. I am getting another worker with me. Hopefully, I don't actually need it, but this is something that the district manager wants, because I actually don't need a second help person. But this is what he wants, so we got to go with what he wants. Remember, look at the bigger picture. So I'll have someone from another location that's transferring over, and we're going to work together in making sure that this area that I'm in will be top notch. I already know what the store manager wants. I already know what the district manager wants. So I have that advantage. The other thing is, I stay on task until it's finished. I'm not going to leave until I'm done. And so 17 minutes so far. So anyways, that's what's happening with me. I'm not and I will not get in my company. We're coming up on bonus time. So all those who are paid by the hour, to include department supervisors, except for salaried managers, they're not a part of it. But all those who are hourly, they get a bonus. We get a bonus in March. Now the supervisor itself, they get a double portion of that bonus. So for example, if my bonus is $500, then the supervisor gets $1,000. If my bonus is $1,000, the supervisor's bonus is $2,000. That's just the way it is. Even though by the time I'm done being a supervisor, we'll be right on the cusp of that, I will not be able to share in any of it, even though I would have been a supervisor for 4 months, as far as a supervisor getting a bonus. So I lose out on that, but I also get to keep the money that I was given to become a supervisor. So I think overall nothing's really changed, because when I'm working overnight, in reality, I become a nighttime supervisor for the area, because I'm responsible for that whole area. And the bad thing is I don't get to continue what I was doing to get these guys to continue to work. And to, again, look at the bigger picture. I learned that actually in the Army, is that the individual soldier, the fighting man on the ground, who's sitting in a foxhole, the only thing he knows to do is that he needs to get up, move to another spot, dig another foxhole, and look in a certain direction. He doesn't know why he has to. He just knows this is what needs to happen. Well, he doesn't see the bigger picture of what people up at the company level or the battalion level or the division level or brigade and division level, or even at the Army level. He doesn't see the big picture, what they're seeing, what they're anticipating, and what they're looking at. All he knows is what he sees is a foxhole and him looking in a certain direction. So, and that's kind of like where the employees are, is that they just say, well, we need to do this. The contractor is here and he needs this, and we're going to go and take care of that contractor. Well, that's all they know, because they're not looking at things from a higher level. Um, so anyways, that's it with me. So as of the 17th, I'm stepping down as a supervisor, but I got first pick when another one opens up. So that's the good thing. That's the good thing. I haven't lost anything. It's just that I was the last one hired, and there was a lot of competition to get that final slot. I don't know who the boss over there will be this next time. I will be under that boss. So, I got 3 likes. Come on, people, talk to me. Don't just give me the likes. I want the likes. Give me the likes. Give me the thumbs up. It not only helps my channel stay with me on this, but I'm only seeing 1 watching. But I'm getting the likes. That's incredible. So now that we're done with that one, let's go on to the other topic. The other topic is to all those who pushed me over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had a big surge of Vietnamese subscribers, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I had some from India, quite a bit, as a matter of fact, pushed me up to that monumental level, which I had struggled to get to for 7 years. So I appreciate every single one of you for pushing me up into that level. I've checked because I monetized right away. I'll be honest with you. I monetized right away. And right now I'm sitting at, since the last part of November to now, I've earned a total of $7. So I need a lot more sharing. Share my content if you want it. If you think somebody would like it. Basically with my channel, it's kind of a little bit of everything. It's I would say it's family oriented. You know, anybody in the family can watch, and you can you know, there's nothing here, you know, that's going to be risque. There's nothing burlesque. Nothing that would offend, you know, a person's sensibilities. It does not stay out of societal norms. You know, I'm not going to, you know, go out on the fringe on anything. It's got Bible study because I am Apostolic Pentecostal. It's got preaching. It's got singing. It's got funny stuff. You know, it's got friends and family here in the United States and it's got my friends and family in the Philippines. There, uh, you know, it is there that my heart is. My heart is in the Philippines. And so if anybody, and that's where I will ultimately retire. I've already been there. And I will ultimately retire. And so if you are interested in seeing what it's like in the Philippines, they send me the videos of what's going on. They don't have YouTube accounts. In fact, they're kind of shy about having a YouTube account. They don't want, they're shy about it. They don't want to deal with it, but they will send me the videos and I will upload them. And so it's really a good way to see things from other people's point of view. Their heartaches, their joys, what makes them happy, just the fun of life, so. But anyways, that's what the channel is about. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about Typhoon Odette, or Rai. I think that was the other name for it. The Asian name was Rai. Philippine name was Odette. That did a lot of damage in the Philippines. It's just heartbreaking to see what it did. It reminded me of Typhoon Ompong. When Typhoon Ompong went through the northern part of Luzon called Cagayan Valley, the eye went right through there. My house in the province is right there, and the eye went right over the house. Of course, the winds are strongest at the eye, and it tore up Cagayan Valley. I mean, hundreds of people lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands were displaced. It tore up entire barangays. It tore up entire cities. Tuguegarao was one of them. Isabela, Apari, Ilocos del Sur, Bigan. It just literally tore those cities apart. And the one thing that I did notice was that, it ripped up trees just like this one did. This one literally ripped up the trees. The mountains that were covered in trees are no longer covered in trees. But one thing I did notice about Odette, the Typhoon Odette, and the one thing I did notice about Ompong, it was if you had an umbrella roof, your roof suffered little to no damage. And this is what I noticed. An umbrella roof is not your typical A-frame roof. It doesn't offer a solid flat surface for the wind to push against. And underneath, in the eaves, it's attached to the roof to where the wind cannot come up underneath and rip that roof off. So I'm hoping, if anybody's watching this, that change the construction of the roofs. You don't, I spent a lot of money. I think it was like 100,000 pesos, which is $2,000, $2,000 is a roof here in the United States, but it was 100,000 pesos, maybe a little bit more, 130. And the roof was built on a solid platform. In most Philippine constructions, the roof is you got your end, a middle, and the other end. And that's all the structure you have, plus your cross beam at the top. So you only have 3 rafters on each side. In an umbrella roof, you have a beam every 30 inches. And it goes all the way around the house. The house in the province in Cagayan Valley has, the beams are 2x6 solid. I mean, this is solid wood. This is not soft wood. It's solid wood. And they're not just nailed up there. They are bolted together at the bottom and up there at the top. They are bolted. It's bolted to the house, not to a piece of wood going across the top of the cement. And they are bolted together up at the top. When the roofer, and we hired a professional roofer for that, when the roofer came in, he said, this is going to be a strong, strong roof, because he saw the construction of the rafters. And so when they put on the umbrella roof, and we used a thick gauge metal, we didn't use real thin sheet metal. We used thick gauge metal. That roof withstood ompong. And I think the only thing that happened to it was a piece of the gutter came off. That was it. And it's been through, since then, it's been through, 5 typhoons. And that roof is held. Of course, after the typhoon, first thing we do is you go up there and you check your roof. You know, look for any loose spots. Did any place where the roofing screws had come out, because you want to replace them. That's the first thing you do, is you go up there, you check your roof. Make sure that it's just as sound as it was before the typhoon. And before typhoon season starts, you do the same thing, because the wood will dry out. The wood over time will dry out. So you need to check to make sure there's nothing loose, to make sure that roof is just as solid as it was the day you put it up. So I'm hoping that the Philippines will, the local governors and barangay captains and municipalities will start insisting on umbrella type roofs. Yes, they do cost more. And I do know that people can only get what they pay for, what they have. Now, Philippines is a third world country. And what we make in the United States, or what they make in Europe, or even in Asia, say Singapore or China or Japan, or even Vietnam, the people in the Philippines are struggling because they went through 2 straight years of intense and agonizing lockdowns. They literally, the people don't have any money because businesses had to close. They lost their jobs because businesses were closed for those who had jobs working in the businesses. they don't have any money. The people themselves don't have any money. So with Odette going through like it did in Visaya, it, these people don't have any money to even repair what they've got, much less put on an umbrella roof. But if they can pick up the pieces, because I've seen a lot of roofs flying off on this one. And, because one thing I did do was started watching to see on YouTube, started watching those that I know in that area, what happened with them and what happened to their homes. You have to take into account your safety. The roof goes, the house goes. It's just as simple as that. Take in the account of the safety of you and your family. It doesn't really take much to gather extra pieces of wood to it doesn't take much to gather extra pieces of wood to create more rafters than to just put up, three small sticks and then throw some sheet metal onto it. Even if you use the cheapest sheet metal, an umbrella roof will more likely last, maybe a little more damage than normal, but would more likely last than a non-umbrella roof. So consider the fact that there has to be a change in the design of roofing there in the Philippines. The best kind of roof would be a cement roof. You have a cement house, even if it's just the outer parts with a cement pillar in the middle. A cement roof is much better than even an umbrella roof made with sheet metal. Just a flat roof like that would be the perfect roof. I've seen them down along the coast here in Texas. I've seen them down there, especially like in Corpus Christi, in that area where there was hurricanes. A hurricane is it's a typhoon, where the hurricane would come through, and those were the ones that survived. The actual perfect house, if you're in a typhoon area or a hurricane area, is a round house with an umbrella roof. And I say that why? Because there's no flat surface for the wind to hit up against. And an umbrella roof is low, so there's no flat panel for the wind to come up and hit. So, a round house with an umbrella roof is actually perfect. But I've only seen very few of those. Let's see, what else was... There was something else I was going to discuss. Since I don't have anybody here, I'm doing another monologue. I've got 3 likes, but nobody stayed on long enough to chat with me. So let me see what else. Everybody I know that's in Vizcaya has survived, and they were scared to death, but they have survived. Their houses are just ripped apart, but they survived. And the one thing about the Filipino people, they are resilient. They know and they can deal with tragedy. And after the typhoon had passed, and the next morning came, people were already out in chainsaws and machetes and bolos out there cutting those trees up and getting them off the road. They already had started to clear. And we're talking village people just going out there. You know, they're not getting paid to do it, but they're doing it because it's their livelihood to be able to get out into the city or whatever. Probably be no coconut harvests during that time because coconuts were everywhere. Coconut trees falling by the thousands. Mango trees, mango harvest is going to be poor in that area. Rice fields, probably everybody's lost their fields. If they got corn crops, lost their corn crops. One of the guys that I watch, a foreigner farming in the Philippines, he made the statement that the farm is just a memory. They lost their house, they lost the piggery, they lost the chickens, probably the tilapia, because he was farming tilapia also. I mean, they lost everything. So my encouragement would be this Christmas season is go to the if you're in the United States, go to the American Red Cross and donate money, clothing, food, and it has got to be canned food, and bags of rice to be sent to the Philippines to those that are in the affected area. I mean, God bless these people. They just were starting to open up as a country, and this tragedy hits and they have no money to rebuild. The people themselves, they have no money to rebuild. So anyways, I want to thank you for watching this. If you've watched this, we're already going on 44 minutes. I'm going to probably cut it off here. Like I said, I don't get a lot of people watching it I got 2 people watching. Nobody said anything. And my normal is not when I do the live stream, it's after I do the live stream. So there's my update with me. I should be hopefully be back in the Philippines this year. I'm looking forward to doing that. That is my place of retirement. If for some reason that the Philippines goes back down under severe lockdown again, and I cannot get to the Philippines, then I will go to Vietnam and retire there, and wait for the Philippines to open. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. When you watch this afterwards, after we've ended this, Please hit that like button. If you like anything on any of my videos, guys, I have over 350 videos. If you like any of the videos, share them with your friends and get them to subscribe to the channel. With me going back to a set schedule and everything, it's going to make it a lot easier to put out videos, because then my schedule's not morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening, mid-shift, morning, evening. I don't know when my days off are coming. So it's going to be a lot easier to put out videos. So thank you very much for going through this with me. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Please, again, open your hearts up to the NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, the charities that deal with tragedies like this. And let's help these people get back on track and get back on their feet again. Thank you. God bless you. And I'll talk to you later.